Hello, my lovely FFE. Yay! It's Thursday, and I know I'm not usually live on Thursdays, but I wanted to pop in because I've got a couple of quick lessons that I learnt from the general election today, which is actually really exciting for me. I'm excited. England is changing, the UK as a whole is changing, and we're getting, the opportunity to vote again, which is always good. But there are a couple of lessons that I've picked up from the general election that I want to really share with you guys, and how it affects your sales skills. So if you are live with me and you know that there are other people who are like, oh my god, Jess, they would not want to miss your live, please hit the share button and type in their names and let them know that we are live and that we're here. Hey Charlisa, and obviously when you're here, let me know. Hey Cynthia, whoop whoop. We don't have the results yet, my love. The results, everybody's voting today, and we'll officially find out tomorrow morning, probably early doors. I'm one of the sad people that I actually really love the election. I love politics. I find it really interesting. Doesn't mean that I resonate with everybody, but it does mean that I will be sat up with a glass of wine watching what happens tonight, and that's what I want to talk about with you guys today. So if you know anybody who really wants to be here or usually joins us on live, please hit the share button and let them know about it. Otherwise we will get rocking and rolling. Yay! So I was walking to the voting poll earlier, and I was on the phone to Sam, and we were talking about the vote, and he was asking who I was going to be voting for, and we were kind of having this discussion about which candidate we would be voting for and why. And I said that this is one of the toughest years for me to make a decision on who I want to vote for. And in the UK, there's been this kind of, and I don't know whether there are any other UK people watching, but this year has been one of the toughest years for the vote. And honestly, everybody that I've spoken to has had such divided opinions, because everybody that I've spoken to has been like, I don't think there's one good answer. And the reason for that is that generally, when it comes to election times, politicians are great at polarization, and they sell a clear solution, right? So that's why you will always see a party who has one clear bill that they're really going to push to the hilt, or they have one clear spearhead in their campaign, or one key person that they're really, everybody identifies with and resonates with. And the UK don't have that this time around, and it's been really interesting. Hey Claire, how are you, my love? It's been really interesting because when I went to vote, usually I think about when I'm sat there in the polling station and I'm making my little cross on the bit of paper, I take it quite seriously, and I think about the candidates that I resonate most with, and I think about what their policies are, and I think about what it is that is drawing me to them and what they're selling me. Right? I think about, what are they selling me? What solution are they selling me? Are they selling me lower taxes? Are they selling me better healthcare, better education, like better futures for the next generation? Like what is their thought process? Politics and sales, let me take my lunch break. Ooh, it's going to be juicy. Hey Sam, I was in a digital PR class during the US election last year, and studying their strategies was fascinating. And it really is. And so when it came to me today, when I was like, oh, which candidate do I resonate with? Which solution am I being sold that I really, really want? I couldn't think of one. Okay, and I'm not somebody that ignores the election. I don't just watch like the overview on the news. I actually get quite into it. I'm really nerdy. I love the psychology behind the way that people and certainly politicians present themselves and their ideas. But this year I couldn't even remember one good thing. I couldn't remember one solution that I was being sold. All I kept thinking about was the smear campaigns, and I was like, oh, can't vote for that person because apparently they're dull. Can't vote for that party because apparently they're going to ruin like the face or the brand of that particular leader. Can't vote for them because of X, Y, Z. And it made me realise that the similarity to the online world is huge, right? Sometimes we don't look at the solutions. Sometimes we're not selling our clients the solutions. We're justifying why we're better than somebody else. And what I realised with regards to the politicians was, I was like, well, that doesn't work. Because I don't want a leader of the country who's justifying, well, you know what, you should probably vote for me because I'm better than that guy, or I'm better than that girl, or I'm better than that person. I want a leader who is leading the country because they're like, I firmly believe in this and I have a clear mission and I want to, you know, present this value and I have this solution that I genuinely think is going to be beneficial. And I stood there in the little polling station booth and I was like, oh, this is a toughie, because I don't have that solution. And that was a real shame for me. And ultimately I made my vote and I weighed it up in my head, and it took me all day to vote. Like, I literally have just got back from the rain and the voting and everything. But it took me all day because I didn't know. And I was like, this is a big decision. Like, every vote counts. They keep telling me, right? Every vote counts. And I was like, what if I vote for the wrong person? Like, what if my one vote gets the person in that doesn't have any solutions, right? And that's what it made me think about businesses. We don't have to justify anything. And I know that usually we talk about this in terms of pricing. I love it, Claire. I love where this is going, right? Usually we talk about it in terms of pricing. I don't have to justify my pricing. I don't have to justify my rates. You don't. But actually there's a deeper level to that. And it's about the fact that you don't have to justify anything. When you are selling something, when you are selling to someone, and let's be clear, like, we all sell every day, whether it's in our business, in our life, you know, if you're selling your partner the dream of making you dinner so that you don't have to, you are selling. The fact is, we have a clear solution in our head. We have a clear outcome that we desire. Your clients do too. So you have to actually speak to that in order for them to make the right decision, i.e. working with you or not working with you, depending on which side of the fence you're kind of sitting on. And that's what the politicians didn't do well this time. They didn't sell me a solution. They didn't sell me anything that I was like, oh, I'm really excited about, you know, education, or I'm really excited about healthcare, or I am excited about those things. But the politicians didn't sell it to me. They didn't sell me any of that. They sold me, well, I'm probably better than this person, or I'm probably better than that person. And there was no passion, and there was no enthusiasm. There was nobody saying, hey, I stand for the UK, and what I want to do is build this country and give us better decision-making abilities. I want to unite us with everybody, and I want to kind of bring a country that has empowered decision makers, and we want to stand for you, the normal people, and we want to provide healthcare and education, and we want to, you know, celebrate all these things. There was nobody like that. There was no passion. There was just kind of like, oh yeah, well, maybe we'll do this and maybe we'll do that, but I'm probably okay because I'm probably better than this person. And that's what we see every day on Facebook, right? We see all these like long posts explaining why you should work with somebody. Now, I don't know about you, but I work with people for a few reasons, right? I work with people if they can get me the results that I want because they're selling me a solution or they're selling me an outcome. I work with people who are passionate about what they do, who actually can explain to me why I should be excited about what they're doing. You know, creating a webinar, honestly, not the most exciting thing in the world. But if you talk to the right person, they're like, oh my goodness, it's epic, it's going to be so much fun, you get to connect with your audience, it builds so great relationships, you're going to be able to advertise, you're going to get a ton of sales. Like, to that person, it's everything, and it's epic, and it's amazing, and you want to work with people like that because their passion is infectious. So I buy from people because they're passionate, because they actually want to help me with something, because they actually feel like a team player, they feel like somebody who cares about what they're doing and about how that's going to help me. Hey Maggie! Maggie is our newest dotty. Yay! I'm so excited. Maggie is our very, very newest dotty. She literally just signed up about 20 minutes ago, which is amazing. But that's why we buy from people, right? We buy because they have a solution, we buy because they're passionate, we buy because they have a wider mission or purpose. We buy because that it's not just about that one thing. It's about how everything relates to it. You know, I sell sales. That's what I sell. People who work with me make more money. But they also make more impact. They also become a leader in their industry. They sell with integrity. They sell in a way that feels good for them. That's what people buy. Confidence, passion, excitement, skills, mastery, results. And that's what the politicians didn't have for me today. And that's why when I made my vote, I was like, oh, there's 5 names on the bit of paper, like, who do I pick? Don't do that for your clients. Don't be that person. Don't be just a name in a sea of names. Be different. Stand out. You know, you don't have to polarize by dropping an F-bomb, but you can polarize by showing up regularly, by giving regular value, by talking about topics that nobody else does, by differentiating yourself by the value that you add or the results that you get or the passion that you have about something. Those things make you different. Those things stop you just being a profile picture. They stop you just being a random message on Facebook, and they turn you into being somebody that people want to spend time with. Yeah, is this resonating with people? Maggie, such a good topic and great message. Yay! Cynthia, 5 candidates. Yeah, so here we get it slightly different. We get like candidates for the county or the region that you live in, plus the parties themselves, of which there are like 4 major parties, let's be generous and say that there are 4 major parties. Otherwise you get lost in the sea of everyone else. Exactly. You know, and this is the thing. We preach so, and I guess this is the big thing, right? So often we preach being different. And when I was looking at the politicians, all of them, you know, when I went out and did my research this morning and I was like Googling everybody said, I am different because. Great. Words are meaningless. Be different because of the actions that you take and the impact you make, not the words you say. Because that doesn't make you stand out. Saying I'm different because is just justifying, right? Oh, I'm different than that person because of this. You don't need to say it if you act it. If you consistently show up, if you consistently give value, if you consistently demonstrate passion or enthusiasm, or tell people about your results, or, you know, just do things in a way that are different from other people, then people will start defining you as being different and disruptive and interesting and unique, and they will define you in that way. You don't ever have to justify I'm different because that puts you in a position of feeling less than, right? When we justify ourselves, and I guess this is where I really wanted to get to, when we justify ourselves, it's because we feel less than what somebody else or who somebody else is. And you are not less than. Your sales are not less than. It's that you have to come from that place of, I'm enough. And so that means that I'm going to act in a way that is always based on the fact that I'm enough. I'm going to show up in the way that says I am enough. And that is with giving value. That starts with leading from your passion, leading from your purpose. And ultimately, that ends with selling those things and being proud to say, do you know what, actually, I don't have to hide. I don't have to hide my desire to work with that client by justifying why they should work with me. I can be loud and proud and say, hey, I want to work with you because I've identified you as being somebody that I want to work with, that I love, and I think you're great, and so I would love to see what you could do with this, right? And it doesn't have to be spammy or easy or icky or gross. It can be great. Sam is calling me, probably because he's voting. Yeah, Charlisa, amen to that. Yay! Hey, Joy, thumbs up. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Claire, I'm so aware of this now, thanks to you. Is taking a stand and being a leader with mission and purpose and unapologetically you. Yeah, and this is the thing, right? Unapologetic is a big word, and I use it a lot, and I was thinking about it today, and I'm really guilty of being like, I'm unapologetic. I'm not. I apologise for everything. Heck, I am British. I apologise if I think I have stepped in front of someone in a queue. I apologise if someone bumps into me in the supermarket. I apologise if I am like on the phone and, you know, and I'm looking at somebody in the street and they're kind of looking at me like, oh, you should be on the phone. I'm like, oh, sorry. You know, but there are some things that you have to step up and say, I take a stand for these things. And so I am unapologetic about wanting women to be financially free because we deserve to be. I am unapologetic about only working with people that get their clients results because actually everybody deserves transformation and change. And I am unapologetic about the fact that sales is simple and it's not sleazy, right? This is the thing. You have to be you have to be solid in knowing what makes you different and never feeling like you have to justify it. So show up on purpose, on your mission, be unapologetic about it, and don't be a British politician, because honestly, the level of polarization this year was naff. Absolutely terrible. And honestly, anybody in this group could have done much better, because in here we sell solutions. We sell with integrity, we sell from our mission, and we sell solutions. And that's what gets you clients. That's what helps you run a country. That is what makes you a leader. All right? Exactly, Cynthia. Integrity and belief. So there you go. That is my little, I don't know, I was going to call it like a lunch and learn, but it's now dinner time. So for those of you in the US, this is my lunch and learn for today about politics and polarization and what I've learned from the general election here in the UK today. I may be live tomorrow. I don't know. I'm actually going to be travelling up to London. So I may be live with one of my friends who I'm meeting from a very, very, she works for a very, very exciting company, and she's somebody that I've known from my previous history in luxury fashion. So I'm going to ask her very nicely if she wouldn't mind going live with me, and talking about some interesting things around the operational side of your business, around what it really means to run your business from an operations perspective and how you scale and grow even when you're a new entrepreneur. So I'll give her a couple of glasses of wine, see what she says. Go Jess, I vote for you. Yay! Jess for Prime Minister. I mean, I haven't got a campaign running, but maybe if we all wrote my name on a bit of paper. I'm not sure they'd go with that, right? But that's what I'm hoping for tomorrow. So I will be in here. Claire, you should run in the next election. Can you imagine that? Please vote for me. I'm selling solutions like healthcare and education. Step it up, ladies. We'd get the women's vote, okay? But yeah, so that's my message for you guys today. I'm hoping that I will see you tomorrow. And I'll be bringing in one of my friends as well, bribing her with some wine, talking about operations. And I will be back next week. I've got some exciting stuff coming next week. We've got some webinars and value adds coming next week, because I'm about to, unapologetically, go into launch mode for cash creation. Whoop, 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 whoop. We could get a ClickFunnels campaign running. Oh my god, yes! Yes, that would be so epic. Run my entire election campaign on ClickFunnels. Russell Brunson would be like, oh my god, that's amazing. But yes, we'll be back in here next week. Lots of webinars, lots of value. Cash creation is launching at the end of the month. So there'll be a lot around that. But don't worry, it's all going to be tempered with a ton of valuable stuff. So even if you're not like joining cash creation, you're all good, because you're just going to get a ton of useful stuff. All right, I will see you in here hopefully tomorrow, but potentially next week.